it is 12 noon on Friday, on Black Friday. It's the special Black Friday edition of State of Real Estate. So I got the all black on, as you can see. And what we're talking about today, so we've been running this huge sale on our online licensing course, and we've been getting a lot of questions of, where do I start with my current real estate? What is it that I can expect out of this? What are the pros? What are the cons? All that type of stuff. So that's what we're going to be covering today, and this is a live stream. So I want you guys, if you have questions about any of this stuff here, send in your questions to me. Let me know what it is. As you can see, see, we are live here. This is coming through on Facebook. If you guys have questions about any of this stuff, throw that in the comments, throw it in the chat. I've got the Facebook, I've got the YouTube, I've got our Success Center, I've got Instagram, all that loaded up here. So when you guys have questions about anything about starting a career in real estate, drop that in the comments. Love to help you out. Definitely check out our sale at tampaschool.com. I'm John Chrismo. You're watching State of Real Estate.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, it is 12 noon on Friday, which means it's time for this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Chrismo, and every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time, we come to you, our previous students, our current students, or maybe our future students, to help you really take your real estate business to the next level. And what we're talking about today really is taking your real estate business to that initial level, getting it kind of off the ground, off its feet. We're running a huge sale on our online licensing course at tampaschool.com. Big savings, our biggest sale of the year for Black Friday. You don't have to wait in any lines or anything like that. We're actually going to talk about that today because one of the questions we get is, hey, look, is real estate right for me? Would real estate benefit me? What are the benefits? Where do I start? And that's the questions I want to answer today. And if you guys have questions about any of this stuff, throw that in the comments, live chat it. I've got Facebook, Instagram, all the platforms loaded up here. So if you got questions or comments about any of this stuff, let me know. Or even if you just want to say hi, say hi back to you. But anyway, so let's talk about, this whole kind of career in real estate and what it's like. So Black Friday. We're running a Black Friday sale as well. And, I've already made some Black Friday purchases this week, but nothing where it's done in store, just where it's something that I needed. There's a piece of software that we needed here at the school, and it was like half price this week. So I was like, okay, yeah, we need this software. Let's go ahead and pull the trigger on this, do this a little bit early, save some money on this. We weren't planning on getting this software till down the road, but we're like, hey, look, savings are there. And now the reason why I make Black Friday purchases, or really any sort of purchase, most of the time. I'm guilty of buying stuff for myself as well that are just pure for pleasure. But the things that are going to give you the most return on investment are things that allow you to make some sort of money. A lot of the stuff that people are going out and purchasing today on Black Friday, whether it's clothes or the big one is like the flat screen TVs and whatnot. That flat screen TV, we've got all these flat screen TVs behind us. If you're buying flat screen TVs to make some sort of set for a live stream that you do every week that helps increase your business, increase your awareness, then that's a good purchase. But a lot of these sales are used for purchasing things that really don't enhance your life at all. The TVs, the flat panel TVs, those are a temporary fix. You walk away from that TV, you still might have bills backing up. That TV isn't going to help you with your bills backing up. It's not going to help you from when you're behind on your mortgage payments. It's not going to help you pay your electric bill when you can't pay your electric bill. These luxury items, I don't recommend that you go out and purchase something like that. Now, we're running a Black Friday sale as well, and we give you guys this opportunity to take our online licensing course. It's our same online licensing course. We're not cutting any corners for our Black Friday sale. It's the same exact course you would normally buy for $250 is what we usually sell that one for, and we're actually going to be increasing the price on that soon, so it's going to be an even bigger savings of that. But it's our same course that we normally sell at $250. Huge discount on that. Go to tampaschool.com. That's tampaschool.com to check that out. Because with this Black Friday purchase, This isn't something that's just a luxury item. It'll allow you to afford luxury items and not have to worry about it being a Black Friday sale, but this is an investment, really. Normally you don't think of a Black Friday sale, you're investing in something, that you're purchasing something to make your life better, to really enhance your life, to make it so you could afford things. And I've said this before, money isn't everything, but it funds. It's not everything, it's not the most important thing, but it funds what's important to you. Whether that's being able to take a vacation with your family, send your kids to school, whatever that may be, a career in real estate makes that possible. The reason why it makes it possible is you have an unlimited income potential. So real estate, let's talk a little bit about, and again, if you guys have questions about any of this stuff, drop it in the comments so I can answer that for you guys here. Hello, we've got our studio audience coming in here. Real estate. So what is it like? So real estate, this isn't just, and I talked about this Wednesday on Ask the Instructor, because we've been getting a lot of questions lately, again, since we started this sale, of people thinking about a career in real estate. So that's what I wanted to make today's show about, is, okay, really kind of giving you an idea of what real estate is like and what is possible. Maybe you're already enrolled in a course and you just kind of need a little bit of motivation to get it finished, or you've been thinking about it and you're looking to go into it, or maybe you got your license, you just haven't gone out and done anything with it yet. So with real estate, it's very different from any other job or any other career. It's really not so much a job at all as you are starting a business. And when you're starting a business, any business, there's risk and there's reward. Now the reward hopefully will outweigh the risk. That's one of the big reasons why a lot of people go into business and start a business, is that they're seeking that ultimate reward. They don't want to be paid just for the activity of sitting at a desk, or the activity of working an hour, and then that's where you get paid money. In real estate, you're getting paid based off of doing deals, doing transactions. And there's no limit to the amount of transactions it is that you could do. There's only so many hours in a week. There's 168 hours in a week, and you still got to have time to sleep. So you're not even going to be able to max out that 168 hours that you have every single week. Maybe 100 hours if you're really going to have no life and just do that. But then you're capped out at earning that set amount per hour, and that's where you're getting paid on. Now, as you transition more into now there's commission-based jobs, and then jobs that are 100% on commission, and that's typically what real estate is. There's a lot of different opportunities and positions available in the real estate industry. There are some of them where you do have a salary plus a bonus or commission or whatever that is. A lot of the new home builders, and there's a lot of new construction going on, not just in the Tampa Bay area, but throughout Florida. There's a lot of new construction going on. And with these new construction jobs, this is typically where you might have some sort of base pay. It's not anything to brag about typically, but it's something that gives you that little bit of security. And then on top of that, when you actually sell these home builders' homes, that you get a commission on top of that. So that's available out there. Now, the more traditional route that a lot of people go into when they're going into real estate, they're not going under a home builder, they're just going under a broker, and they're 100% on commission, where they're paid solely for the activities it is that they do. And even with the home builder, even though you have that security of that base pay that you get regardless, if you're not selling anything, they're not going to keep paying you that base pay. You're eventually not going to be working there any longer. So it is very much about completing these activities, but that's where this big reward comes in. The higher the reward is, typically, though, the more risk that it is. And when you're 100% on commission, it's either you do a deal and get paid, or you don't do a deal and don't get paid. Now, we talked about some of the numbers on this on Wednesday, on Wednesday's episode of Ask the Instructor, where we're actually doing some calculations on how much it would be. And we use the example of a $400,000 home. A $400,000 home with a 3% commission, which is a typical commission. Commission is always negotiated between the brokerage and the client, but a typical commission is typically around 3%, maybe 2, maybe 4, it kind of depends. So based on that 3% commission, that's $12,000 that you'd have coming in off of a single transaction. And now if you're working with a seller, according to the National Association of Realtors, it's 8 hours of working time. Not you go in and 8 hours later in the day that you've got $12,000, but 8 hours over the course of probably a couple months, but 8 hours of actual working time, you end up with $12,000. And we did the math on that to what that breaks down per hour. And that's, I think it was $1,500 an hour. So that's, but the thing is, you're not paid based on being there for an hour. And it might take you longer to close that particular client. So maybe it's only $1,000, maybe it's only $500, maybe it's only $100 an hour. And I say that only $100 an hour, where that's usually higher than most hourly jobs typically pay for. Again, there's an enormous reward out there for this. Now we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to be talking a little bit more about the nitty gritty. I've gave you guys kind of the pitch on why real estate is great and why I love real estate and why I think you should at least take a look at real estate. But we're going to be talking about next is kind of filling in some of these gaps, giving you an idea of what your day-to-day life looks like. Can you work in real estate part-time, or do you have to do it full-time? Really kind of giving you a little bit more clarity behind that. And if you guys have questions on anything about starting a career in real estate, drop that in the comments. And remember, we've got our Black Friday sale going on, biggest sale of the year on our online licensing course. Huge sale. Check that out at tampaschool.com. You've got that link right down below, tampaschool.com. We're going to be back in less than 2 minutes. Send me your comments. Send me your questions. I'm John Christmo. You're watching State of Real Estate. Our biggest sale of the year is happening now at tampaschool.com. That's tampaschool.com. Are you thinking about a career in real estate? Hey, I'm John Christmo with the Tampa School of Real Estate, and we've helped thousands of people just like you obtain their real estate license. If you're thinking about a career in real estate, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way they can. Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
I have done for my love.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. I'm John Christmo, and this show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. Every Friday, 12 noon Eastern Time, we come to you live to our past students, to our current students, and to our future students to help you get a handle on the side of real estate that really helps take your business to the next level. And what we're talking about today, it coincides with our Black Friday sale. We're running a huge sale on our online licensing course, our biggest sale of the year, and we've been getting a lot of questions about, hey, look, I'm interested in real estate. We actually just had one come in from Instagram from Poor Georgie. So Poor Georgie says, I'm 23. Is that a good age to get into real estate? I definitely think it is. And so we do in-person classes, we do online classes, but especially with the in-person classes where we get to see the people, we see a range of people that are fresh out of high school, 18 years old. All you got to be is 18 years old to get the real estate license. So as long as you're at least 18 years old, but we've seen people all the way up to, God, I don't have an exact age, but I would probably peg it around like 70 or so coming in here, and they're just looking for something to do in their retirement and whatnot. And we get a lot of people, so we get this broad range of people that are interested in getting their real estate license. But look, if you're 23 years old, Like I was 23 years old once. I know what it's like. You're trying to find what it is that you're wanting to do with your life. You're trying to figure out, okay, should I do this? Should I do that? And my advice to you, being 23, so you're going to have a fairly easy time typically getting through the course material when you're younger, just because your brain typically absorbs information better, and that's an overall generalization. There are going to be people that are older that'll probably absorb information better than people that are younger, certain people and whatnot. But that'll usually give you a little bit of advantage there, being that you're younger, you're typically, and there's some science behind that as well, that you're able to learn and understand a little bit better. But what's also great about being 23 years old is that you're able to really kind of take this and run with it, and you have your whole life ahead of you. And one of the things I would advise, because one of the things we see with a lot of people that are younger, that are interested in getting the real estate license, is they're kind of concerned, well, I don't know if this is what I want to do with my life. But look, give it a shot. The barrier of entry, the amount it takes to get a real estate license and get started in real estate is next to nothing. And we've lowered that barrier even more for the sale we've got going on with Black Friday. So we've already kind of slashed the price of the course. You've got a couple licensing fees and whatnot, but even at full price for the course, you're looking at under $500 for for getting your license. So $500, that I don't even think will pay for one class, even at a community college. So it's and that doesn't get you the degree, and even with that degree, that doesn't typically translate to any sort of job unless you're getting the higher degree. Then you've got like $200,000 in debt. So for that cost of $500 to get your seat at the table to be able to practice real estate, it's such a low barrier of entry. Which my advice is, hey, look, try it out. Look, if you don't like it, if you find out that it's not for you, that's fine. Or maybe you've got a passion maybe for animals and you're studying to go be a veterinarian or to be a doctor or whatever that may be. We have a lot of people that do this part-time, and that's absolutely a possibility as well. I started in real estate part-time. I still had a full-time job, and I was trying to make that transition into there, and that's typically what we recommend to our students is, look, hey, start in this part-time. You get to find out how you feel about it, and you're ready to kind of make the switch gradually. But while you're starting part-time, you could tap into your friends and family, or really your coworkers that are at your other job, and let them know. You don't want to be kind of secret about. And that was kind of one of the things that I was doing. I didn't want people really to know at first that I was going to get a real estate license, because I didn't want them to say, oh, look, he doesn't want to work here anymore. You know what? We better fire him before he quits. And I didn't want that whole thing to be going on with this. So I kind of was secretly trying to get my real estate license, and I kind of started doing some real estate stuff. But as I found out that I kind of really like this, I started letting people know that, hey, look, I'm in real estate. I'm the real estate guy. I'm not going to be here much longer. And I was like, whatever, you fire me, I quit. Same thing. My days here are numbered anyway. So we typically recommend that you start part-time, because not only can you tap into that client base of your coworkers, and even if your coworkers at your current job aren't looking to buy or sell a home, they probably know somebody that's looking to buy or sell a home. And referrals make great first clients, because they're usually a little bit more understanding when there's something it is that you don't know, or you're a little unsure about something when somebody's referred to you or something like that. But that's really what you should try to aim for your first few clients, is getting that off of referral business. There's a lot of ways to gain clients. So let's talk about that for a minute here to give you guys a little bit more of the picture of this here. So when you're practicing real estate, really the hard part is finding the people. That's the part that really takes the once you've gone through a couple transactions, there's little things here and there that pop up that have to be addressed and have to be fixed, but probably the hardest part of your job, especially when you're first starting out, of building this business, of building your empire, is finding the people that want to buy or sell real estate. And there's a lot of ways you can go about doing that. You'll get calls from companies like Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com that want to sell you advertising. And I usually advise to steer away from this, at least when you're first starting out. Because when you're brand new, and the clients that you typically get from websites like Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com and these online websites, these are usually more difficult clients to work with, to kind of turn into a client rather than just somebody that wants to go see a house. So I usually don't recommend that when you're starting out, is to kind of to feed off of these websites where you're buying leads from them. It's a little bit harder to go out there on your own and try to track down a business, whether that's you're knocking on doors, holding open houses, doing cold calling, or just walking around in your daily topics of discussion. Maybe you're at the grocery store and you hand somebody your card there because you struck up a conversation with them. These are the people that see you as a person, rather than just seeing you as a salesperson. With these online sites, when you're purchasing advertising from them and you're buying these leads, they see you as a salesperson. And people inherently don't like salespeople. But real estate, even though this is very sales-based and it is commission-based, it's a very unsalesy type of salesperson. You're very much a person, and that's what makes you a good real estate professional. Not only do you have sales skills, because you do have to have the professionalism and whatnot as well, but it really comes down to you actually being a person and being able to connect with people. That's what really kind of sets you apart. A lot of people go into real estate thinking that you're just 100% sales and you're just a salesperson, and you just want to burn through your list of people until you've sold them all houses, and then you're done with them and you're never talking to them again. That's what most salespeople do, but in real estate, that's absolutely the worst thing to do, because the clients are so valuable. Not only just for the purchase of their house, the sale of their house. Mute that. So not only for the purchase or sale of their house, but also for their friends and family and for their repeat business. So let's walk you through this process. So let's say that somehow, some way, whether this is a referral from a friend or family member, a coworker, whatever that may be, that they're looking to buy a house, and you go, you do your thing, you go show them houses, and when you're showing houses, you're not 100% a salesperson. You're not trying to just close the deal. You're trying to find out, hey, is this house a good match for this client? Is this house the best match for this client? That's what you're doing. You're more of a matchmaker than a salesperson. You're really not the seller of any of the properties. The seller is the seller. You're just there to say, hey, look, are you a good match? Are you as a buyer a good match for this property? Or maybe you're the seller. You're really not the seller's agent. You're really not selling the property there. You're just marketing the property for sale. So it's a very unsalesperson type. Now, again, you do still need to have sales skills. You need to know one of the biggest skills, one of the most important skills that you need to master is the art of communication. That's a very important skill in the real estate industry. Being able to communicate with people effectively, and not just communicate the easy, fun conversations of being able to introduce yourself and things like that, but also being able to have the difficult conversations sometimes. That's what ultimately makes your job a little bit easier, the more willing you are to have the difficult conversations. And that's why, as you gain experience in the real estate industry, as you've gone through some transactions, as you worked with people before, that you're able to have these difficult conversations a little bit easier because you've been through them before. But that's one of the biggest things that's probably the most important skill. It's not sales, it's not knowledge of real estate, it's not being able to search the MLS, it's not all the different training classes you do. These things are all important things to real estate, but the number one skill is communication, because that's ultimately what you are. You're a communicator with your clients. And you're communicating with them. And now when I say communication, I'm not saying that you're a good talker, that you could talk. That's not really that important. Yes, you do want to be able to verbalize yourself coherently, but the important part of the communication isn't just talking, it's actually listening to, and also sometimes reading in between the lines. So you're listening on a deeper level. You're paying attention to somebody's body language, listening to their body language in addition to the words that are coming out of their mouth, and maybe listening to the tone it is. Because now, people aren't inherently liars, but sometimes they don't really understand what it is that they really want, or they don't understand what it is that they're trying to say. And I've gone through this. I think of myself as a good communicator, but sometimes I'm at a loss for words. I don't know the right way to kind of formulate what it is that it's always going in my head. And that's not unique to me. That's everyone. Sometimes they'll be thinking one thing, but the way they say it, it comes out differently. So being an effective communicator, what you want to do is be able to kind of pick up on these things it is that they're saying and try to figure out, sometimes what they're saying is 100% true, and that's 100% what it is that they want and what they need, or whatever that applies to the situation. But sometimes you've got to dig a little bit and really kind of pay attention to what it is that they're saying, how they're saying it, what they're doing while they're saying it, to really kind of get a feel for, is this what you're almost playing psychologist or psychiatrist or whatever you want to call it to a certain point, maybe counselor to these people, that you're really kind of trying to pull out that information sometimes. Because a lot of times, especially on the buyer side of this, people going into buying a home, they're sometimes a little confused. They're sometimes a little bit lost about this whole process, and they need the guidance. That's what people are paying you for. That's why you're so highly paid, because this is a complex process. And not only are you guiding them through the legal parts of the contracts and all that other stuff, but you're also guiding them kind of emotionally through this whole process as well, especially when it gets into negotiating contracts. That's where clients are typically the most emotional, is through the negotiation process, whether they're the seller. So the sellers are typically, unless you're dealing with a seller that's maybe just they don't live at the property, they're an absentee owner that doesn't live on the property. They're maybe just some investor. But aside from that situation, typically when you're dealing with a seller, they're very prideful about their house. Even if their house isn't in the best of shape, that's their home. That's the place that they've called home for maybe the last 5, 10, 15 years. And when somebody wants to offer them less money than what they're asking for, they take it almost as an insult. So it's your job here to communicate this effectively. Hey, look, they're not insulting you. And you don't necessarily always want to say that word because they'll say, well, I'm not insulted, because when they understand that, they'll feel ridiculous about being insulted here. But you're kind of smoothing them through this process. Hey, look, they've offered this amount here. This is part of the negotiation. We could take this offer here, or we could counter back at this higher rate, at this higher price. They'll probably counter back again, and sometimes just communicating what those next steps look like. It's very important that you, again, you're not just there to advise of what the options are. You're there typically to recommend options. You make a recommendation. If they don't want to take your recommendation, that's fine. Not every time will they take what your recommendation is. But by making a recommendation rather than just giving them options and making the decision of whether to accept this offer or not accept an offer, whatever that may be, and let that be 100% up to them, that's where they'll get confused and they'll get angry because they're confused, and then they'll take that anger out on you, or they'll take that out against the opposing party in the negotiation. So it all kind of, again, comes back to the communication. Really, all the trainings that you take in real estate, really, even with the contract trainings and these more technical trainings, it's about how you're communicating these technical things to your clients. So really, everything comes back to the communications. That's one of the most important skills. And if you think you're a good communicator, you'd probably be halfway decent at the very least in real estate. So we're going to take another quick commercial break, but before we go, I want to tell you again about our Black Friday sale we've got going on. It's our biggest sale of the year. It's at tampaschool.com. That's tampaschool.com. We really don't do sales that often, and again, this is our biggest sale of the year, so take advantage of this special price it is that we have. This isn't like other Black Friday purchases where you're just buying something because it's on sale. This is something that you're purchasing that can improve your life, that can improve your lifestyle, that could improve your income, that could make it so you could make your own schedule, that you could be your own boss, and so many rewards that come along with this. Yes, there's some risk as well. Typically in real estate, again, you're 100% on commission, and you're only paid when you complete these activities. But the better it is that you get at completing these activities, and the better it is that you get at being able to handle transactions and close transactions, the more it is that you get paid. There's no ceiling that's really in existence in real estate. It's really as much as you put into it, you're able to get out of it. So definitely check that out, that Black Friday sale going on at tampaschool.com. That's tampaschool.com. If you've got questions about any of this stuff here, drop that in the comments, or better yet, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Again, that's 813-928-0106. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but we'll be back in less than 2 minutes. I'm John Chrismo. You're watching State of Real Estate. Our biggest sale of the year is happening now at tampaschool.com. That's tampaschool.com. Are you thinking about a career in real estate? Hey, I'm John Chrismo with the Tampa School of Real Estate, and we've helped thousands of people just like you obtain their real estate license. If you're thinking about a career in real estate, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way they can.
Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
I have been for my love.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. There we go. All right, we're back here live. They're live recording, live streams here. When we're live, we're subject to some technical difficulties, but we're back here every Friday, 12 noon Eastern Time. We come to you live, to our previous students, to our current students, and to our future students to bring you State of Real Estate. This is something that we started almost a year ago. We're coming up on our 1-year anniversary of Ask the Instructor and State of Real Estate. We're going to have some special shows for you guys with that, we've been doing this for a year, and we do this every Friday without any sort of, doesn't matter whether it's Black Friday, whether it's some sort of holiday or whatever that may be. Every Friday we come to you to help our students, because it's always a good time to really, normally what we're covering on State of Real Estate is masterminding about growing your real estate business. But what we're kind of focusing on this week, and it's still a little bit of this of, okay, now that you've got your real estate license, how do you grow your real estate business? But that's what we focus on every Friday, 12 noon Eastern Time, is how to grow your real estate business. And this is a live stream. We are live. You guys are able to chat and communicate with me on Facebook, on Instagram. Drop in your comments if you guys have any questions about anything it is that I'm talking about, anything really real estate related. I'd love to answer those questions for you live on the air, as well as give you a fun little shout out. But let's talk a little bit more about, so we started off talking about, hey, these are the benefits of a career in real estate. This is how it could possibly change your life. Then we kind of started talking about, okay, let's look a little bit more at the details of this. What is it that you're actually doing? And like I said, it's, yes, you are in sales, but this isn't like, hey, look, you've got this used car that you've got to get out of here by any means necessary, by lying to them, by doing whatever it is that you've got to do. That's not the type of salesperson you are in real estate. You're really there to be a trusted advisor of your clients, of a recommendation of how to go through this process, because you're not the buyer, you're not the seller, you're there to assist the buyer or to assist the seller and make recommendations to them of how they should proceed with this transaction based on your expertise that you have in the real estate industry. And it's such a complex process, and that advice is so valuable that your people are willing to pay $10, $12, $15, $20,000. Again, we did that example on Wednesday on Ask the Instructor on a $400,000 house with a 3% commission. That's a $12,000 payday for it. So you are very highly paid, but you're very highly paid for your knowledge and your ability to communicate that knowledge to your clients in an effective and meaningful way as it relates to this transaction. So that's really an idea of, okay, what overall it is that you're doing. But now let's focus on some of the details, because one of the questions that we get also is, hey, do you think I'm going to be successful in real estate? Poor Georgie on Instagram was asking, hey, look, I'm 23. Do you think real estate would work for me? Would I be able to do it? So it's really not a question sometimes of is it possible to make money in real estate? It's sometimes the question of, will I make money in real estate? Will this be something for me? And so one of the big benefits of a career in real estate is that you are your own boss. You get to be your own boss with a career in real estate. Some people aren't cut out to be the boss. So that's where sometimes you'll struggle with this here. And if no one likes it when their boss tells them, hey, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to do this, when you don't want to do that. But look, when you're your own boss, sometimes if it's something that doesn't translate to success, if it's just busy work or whatever that may be, that you don't have to do those things. But when it is something that translates to success, and this is something that translates to success, that's when you've got to be hard on yourself sometimes. So let's talk about how to kind of get some business. Now, initially, we talked about this already. When you first get your real estate license, one of the things we recommend typically is starting part-time. And most brokerages, you could start part-time. There's really not, again, you're your own boss, so it's up to you how much you work. Now, obviously, you've got to do something. So if you don't like to work, again, that's where you got to be a little hard on yourself. You got to be your own boss. You've got to be the boss of yourself and say, hey, look, you need to get up. You need to do this. You need to do that. You've got to do this. I know you don't want to talk to this person, but you've got to talk to this person right now. And sometimes it's just that little kind of just slight little bump that you need sometimes, where you're just almost in that state of not doing anything. The whole kind of saying, an object in motion stays in motion. An object at rest stays at rest. And sometimes you're just at rest, and you need to have that little boss inside of you and really kind of develop and cultivate that to say, hey, look, get up, get out of rest, make this phone call, send that text message, send that email, do this, do that. And again, it's just these little things, but the better it is that you are at managing yourself and being able to do these things, the more effective you'll be in real estate. So that's one of the things that's important, to really kind of stay on top of yourself. There's a lot of ways, there's a lot of technology available now, or you could use like a good old-fashioned planner, or even just a notepad, just taking some sort of notepad and writing down a to-do list of things it is you have to do. Whatever works for you, whether it's a to-do list, you're using the apps in your phone or something. Don't let the list, the planner, or whatever it is that you're doing, don't let that really run your day. Use that to help assist you in completing the tasks that you need to do that ultimately result in you getting paid. But let's talk about some of the things that you'd be doing when you first get your real estate license. So let's say you've got your real estate license, you've joined up with a broker, you've joined the Association of Realtors, you're good to go, you're ready to start earning commission money. Now, how do you go about doing that? So one of the first things that you really need to kind of make time for when you're starting in real estate. Now, this isn't going to be the sole thing. I don't recommend this be the sole and only thing that you do when you first get your real estate license, but one of the big parts of when you're first starting is training yourself, and really not training yourself, having others train you as well. That's why we do these live streams every Friday, to just give you kind of a little bit of something every week to if maybe you're with a brokerage that doesn't offer training or anything like that, and you're on your own for figuring out the training, at least you've got these every hour, an hour every week to kind of hone your business just by a little bit. And now, watching one episode of this show, as much as I would love for this one episode of this show to take you from making nothing to making over $100,000 a year, look, I'm not going to say that's not possible, but it's probably not possible. The 1 hour that you're getting of these shows, 1 hour of anything really isn't going to accomplish much. But 1 hour, week after 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 a year, that's 52 hours that you've had just spending 1 hour a week. And you're just chipping away at gaining more knowledge. You're just constantly pulling that in more so. And now when you're first starting out, you're going to spend a little bit more time training. But now I don't recommend that you spend all your time training. There's no way, it's impossible to know everything there is to know about real estate. And that's a disclaimer I have to make sometimes, because there's a lot of people that feel like they could know everything and that they have to know everything before they go out and try to do anything in real estate. But that's absolutely not true. There's still stuff to this day. As long as I've had real estate in my life, I'm still learning things every day about the real estate industry, about different deals, about different things and different tactics. So I'm constantly learning, and that's true for everyone in real estate. Or even if they're not constantly learning, there's opportunities where they could learn and they're just simply not. So there's always information to be learned. There's always new ways of doing things, new technologies, new tactics, all kinds of new stuff, and changing of the industry. So constantly learning. So there's no way, it's literally impossible to learn everything there is to know about real estate, or even come close to learning everything there is to know about real estate. So don't make that your excuse of not going out and getting business, of working with clients, of closing deals. Don't make that your excuse, because I see a lot of new agents that make that as their excuse of why they haven't sold anything yet, why they haven't had any buyers that they've helped yet, or any sellers that they've helped yet, or any deals that they've closed. And they'll say, well, I'm not ready for that yet. I don't know about how to do this in the MLS, or I don't know how to do this and that, or I don't know every little detail of this contract. Good, you're not going to. You're even when you do start to master some of these items, you'll forget some of the other items. So there's always going to be things that you don't know, and don't let those things that you don't know rule your life, and don't let that unknown really dictate how successful it is that you are, because there's a very easy solution to this. And again, you're not the salesperson trying to close the deal at all means. Again, you're not the used car salesman trying to move as many hunks of junks as you can. You're there to be the trusted advisor of your client, and a lot of that trust, if you have the answer to everything, every question that your client asks you, if you have the answer to that, they're going to look at you and say, all right, well, why does he have the answer to everything? He can't be this knowledgeable. It's okay sometimes to say, hey, look, I don't know, but I'll find out for you. I'm not sure about that, but I'll find out for you. Something like that. Or maybe even if it's like, I think it's something like this here, but I'm not 100% sure, but I will find out for you. That shows that you are fallible, and that makes people trust you even more. Now, if you say that for everything, they're going to just say, okay, yeah, I trust him, but I trust that he's a moron. He doesn't know what he's talking about, so let's go find somebody that does know what they're talking about. But when there's things that you don't know, you don't want to lie about it. And that's a big thing that a lot of new agents think. This is something that I thought when I first started in real estate. I'm like, God, what if they ask me a question that I don't know? I'll just have to make something up so that way I don't lose this sale. And that's a common thought process of a lot of people that are brand new, not in just real estate, but in anything, that if they don't know the answer, that they're going to fail. But that's simply not true. Your clients will appreciate you when you're honest with them and saying, hey, look, I'm not sure about the answer to that question, but I will find out for you. Again, you don't want to say that about everything, and if you are saying that about everything, okay, maybe now you need to train a little bit more, or maybe you just need to be a little bit more confident in the knowledge it is that you have. But again, it's okay for that, because again, you're there to be a trusted advisor, and how can they trust you if they think that you're lying to them because you have an answer to every single question it is that they ask you? Again, yes, training is a big part of when you're first getting your real estate license, but again, you don't have to know everything. There's so many resources that you could turn to when you don't know the answer to a question. The closest resource, so the Florida Real Estate Commission requires by law that your first 2 years with an active real estate license has to be registered with a broker. And with the broker, they're there to really kind of to be a built-in apprenticeship of when you have these questions and you say, hey, I'm not sure about that, but let me check with my broker. He'll probably have the answer, or she'll probably have the answer to this question. And they say, okay, all right, and then they're okay. You find out the answer, you give them the answer, they're like, okay, great, I could trust this person, they're not going to lie to me. When they don't know something, they'll go find out the answer for me, and then they'll deliver me the answer. So I like this person, this is the person I want to use. I'm going to recommend this person to my friends and family. That's ideal. That's what you're trying to shoot for, that type of experience in there. And again, you don't have to know everything. But yeah, you have your broker that you could turn to. You have, so joining the Association of Realtors, one of the big benefits of joining the Association of Realtors is you have access to the Florida, so in the Florida Association of Realtors, they pay for a legal hotline. And the Florida Association of Realtors, they employ several attorneys just to answer questions on this legal hotline. They might have to do some other things as well. I'm not 100% sure of what their job duties entail. But during normal business hours, I think it's like 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or maybe to 6 p.m. or something like that. Don't quote me on that. But somewhere around those normal business hours that they're available, I want to say even on Saturdays as well, where you could call in if you have a question about a contract, about something legal, about a type of deed, or about something of how this relates. Again, they're available to answer these questions for you. So when you have legal questions, you could actually talk to an attorney in good standing with the Florida Bar that can answer these questions, or will try to answer their questions for you. Again, just like you might not have all the answers, they might not have all the answers. They might say, well, I'm not too sure about that. I can't put my stamp of approval on that. Maybe this is what's going on, but there's not any law that directly says that or that says one way or another. But you're able to kind of get that answer directly from somebody who has been certified by the state of Florida to be knowledgeable in law, that they've passed the Florida Bar. And the Florida Association of Realtors pays for that service for you. And so that's a great advantage that you have there, that sometimes you have to wait on hold for a few minutes, but look, I mean, if you've ever talked to an attorney before, they charge by the hour and they're not cheap. So that definitely is a huge advantage of joining the Association of Realtors. That's an optional thing that you could do, but almost every person that practices real estate is a member of the Association of Realtors, because there's so many benefits that you get from that. One of those big ones being that legal hotline. So if you're worried about, hey, look, I'm not too good with contracts. I've my husband or my wife always handles the legal type of stuff. That doesn't mean that you're not going to be a good real estate professional. Yes, there'll be a little bit of a learning curve for you, because you do need to know some basics about some of these contracts. But look, if you're worried about contracts, the contracts that you use are almost always the same contract. So the Florida Association of Realtors, they publish, along with the Florida Bar, they call it the FAR Bar, the Florida Association of Realtors, and the Florida Bar contract. And there's really two sets of contracts. One that's just the Florida Association of Realtors, and one that's the Florida Association of Realtors and the Florida Bar. But they have these two sets of contracts. And these contracts, yes, they can always be different because there's some blanks in there. where you write in, you fill in the blank for how many days you want for an inspection period, or even if you don't fill in the blank, it already says in there that if left blank, 15 days or whatever that may be. So you're usually just filling in the blanks, and being that you're using the same document, the same contract for almost every transaction, just with different things in the blanks, almost like a Mad Libs. That's really, if you've done Mad Libs before, you could probably fill out a real estate contract, because it tells you really what you've got to put in there for each one of these blanks. So you fill that out, you put that in the contract, and now when you receive that contract, you're just going through and looking at these different blanks. Yes, there's a section of where you could fill in some, like you could write in some additional things if you want to put something more particular that's not covered in the blanks, or maybe you could add some additional addendums. But look, if you're scared of the contracts, don't be. That's something that can be learned, and you could almost know everything about those contracts. That's one of the things where you could really almost know that comprehensively. There's a lot of other things in real estate where you won't always know everything or have the answer to it and whatnot. The contracts are something, hey, you learn this, you take a contract class, and now all of a sudden you know everything there is to know almost about the contract. And if you have a question, turn to your broker, turn to that legal hotline, turn to another agent in your office. Say, hey, look, my broker, our broker's busy. Do you know what the answer to this is? And chances are they'll probably know. If they've been practicing real estate longer than you, they'll probably know whatever the answer is to your question. Or worst case scenario, you just wait for your broker, or wait to call up that legal hotline, or whatever that may be. There's so many resources available. Before we go on break, just to give you a little quick backstory on me. Ever since I was like 5 years old, I was an entrepreneur. Everything from holding lemonade stands to I actually used to have a mobile DJ business, and I actually DJ'd people's weddings while I was in high school. Funny story. I'll tell you guys this one here. So I actually was DJing people's weddings, people getting married in their like 30s and whatnot, and I didn't even have, I had my learner's permit, but I didn't have my driver's license yet. So I had my dad driving me because it was after dark and I couldn't drive with my learner's permit, and I was yelling at him, hey, stay in the car, I don't want them seeing you. I can't let them know I'm only 15 years old and I'm DJing their wedding. They're not going to pay me if they find this out. So I've always kind of had this entrepreneurial spirit. I've had a lot of business ventures that I've gone through over my life, but I've found the most success with real estate because it's a very cooperative industry. It's a very cooperative business. The whole nature of real estate is based on cooperation. When you go out to help a buyer find a property, all the properties that are available in the MLS system is built based on having the cooperation between the buyer's broker and the seller's broker. The seller's broker goes to the seller and says, hey, look, I want to help you sell your property. Let's have you pay us a 6% commission, and 3% is going to go to us, and 3% is going to go to whoever is representing the buyer. So from the very get-go of any transaction, there's already a cooperative agreement between people. And that's really the whole nature of the real estate industry, is it's very cooperative. People are willing to help others. People want to see others succeed. It's competitive to a certain extent, but there's so much business out there, especially in a market like we have today, especially in the Tampa Bay area where it's growing as rapidly as it has been. There's so much business out there, it almost becomes non-competitive, and people, again, are willing to help you through this process. So it's very cooperative. I love it. I definitely recommend you give it a chance. We're going to take one more commercial break, but before we do that, remember we've got our big Black Friday sale going on for our online licensing course. So if you've been on the fence about getting your real estate license, maybe you're worried about that kind of cost of the barrier of entry. Again, look, for starting any kind of business, real estate has one of the lowest barriers of entry of starting a business. Most businesses, if you're opening some sort of store to sell something, even an online store, there's a lot of cost associated with that. You have to buy the product and pay for advertising and all kinds of stuff like that. And yes, there are costs associated with starting a real estate business as well, but real estate has one of the lowest barriers of entry, and we've helped lower that barrier even more so you can get your real estate license with our Black Friday sale. So check that out. That's at tampaschool.com. tampaschool.com. You can also give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. We've got about 10 minutes left. We're going to be back after this short commercial break. I'm John Kursmo. You're watching State of Real Estate. Our biggest sale of the year is happening now at tampaschool.com. That's tampaschool.com. Are you thinking about a career in real estate? Hey, I'm John Kursmo with the Tampa School of Real Estate, and we've helped thousands of people just like you obtain their real estate license. If you're thinking about a career in real estate, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way they can.
Do
Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
I have done for my love.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time, we come to you live to our previous students, to our current students, and to our future students to help you get a better understanding of how to take your real estate business to the next level. And what we've been focusing on this week kind of coincides with our Black Friday sale. We've got a lot of people that are taking advantage of that deal that we're running on our online licensing course. It's the same course that we normally sell for about $250, and we're not cutting any corners in this. We're just offering a great discount on that. It's the same thing you'd get normally, so a huge savings that we've got going on for that for Black Friday right now. And look, even if you've already purchased the course and you bought it at full price, that $250 has the potential really for an infinite return on investment. This course, the whole barrier of entry that we've talked about this a couple times already on this show, the amount that it takes, not of money, but also of effort to get your real estate license, to have that seat at the table, to be able to practice real estate, to be able to get into this here, it's so low. There's people that go into professions. There's a lot of people. There's quite a few agents that I know that are making over $100,000 a year, and there's other people I know that went to school for 7 years to higher education, to getting a college degree and getting a master's degree that aren't making $100,000 a year. And I mean, if you're doing this in person, I mean, we've got courses less than a week, or actually I think 7 days is the shortest one that we have right now on the schedule. But 7 days you're able to go through this class, you go pass your exam, you've got your real estate license, you've got that ticket, you've got that seat at the table. Now, a lot of this, again, comes from because when you're going through this course, just like with anything, there's always more to learn. The pre-licensing course is really the tip of the iceberg. It's a great introduction into all kinds of different aspects of real estate, but what it also focuses on, one of the main components of the pre-licensing course, is that it helps you, it's really designed to teach you all the information you need to pass the real estate exam. Because if you don't pass the real estate exam, it doesn't matter how much you know about real estate, it's illegal for you to earn compensation for selling real estate. So really, passing that exam is that first barrier that you have to go through. And let's talk about that quickly about this. So this whole process of getting your real estate license, where do you start? Well, you start with the pre-licensing course. Again, it gives you a great introduction into real estate. It tells you really a lot of different things, a lot of different aspects, but it's mainly geared toward teaching you the things you need to know to pass your real estate exam. And there's two sets of exams you've got to take. There's an end of course exam, which if you're doing that with our online course, through our Black Friday sale or otherwise, you've got a 100-question multiple choice exam. You have to get a 70% on that. On the state exam, 100 questions, multiple choice, you have to get a 75%. So, and a lot of people hear that and say, oh, I could miss 30 questions on the end of course exam. I could miss 25 questions on the state exam. Yeah, you can. And it is multiple choice as well. Now, a lot of people also ask then, well, do I have to even take this course? Can't I just go take the exam enough times until I pass? Even if that were legal, even if that were possible, because no, you can't take the state exam unless you've taken a Florida Real Estate Commission approved pre-licensing course, like our Black Friday sale online course. That's 100% approved by the Florida Real Estate Commission to be qualified to allow you to take the exam. But even if it were possible to take that exam without taking the course, you would still have a hard time passing that. It's almost impossible to pass because the exam is designed to really fool the layperson. Now, real estate, again, it's a industry of knowledge. That's why people are paying you for your knowledge that you have and the expertise you have of transferring property. That's why you're paid in real estate. You're paid for your knowledge and expertise in guiding people through these transactions. That knowledge isn't common knowledge. It's not knowledge. There's a few things that you may know, that you may already know as you go through the real estate course, but there's a lot of things that you don't know, whether that's just the laws or how mortgages work or some of the more finer details of mortgages or the details about contracts, about different types of deeds, about how to appraise property values, about real estate property taxes, about how income taxes are affected by real estate, about zoning, about, let's see what else is covered in the course, about how brokerages operate, about the different relationships you could have with clients. There's a lot of information that you have in there that isn't common knowledge among people. And the exam's designed, if you don't remember that information from the course, there's going to be a wrong answer that probably sounds more correct than the actual right answer, which is information from the course. The exams are not based on how smart it is that you are. You don't have to be a genius to pass these exams. You could be a genius and still fail these exams because the exams are not designed on how smart you are. They're designed to see, do you know the information that you were supposed to learn in the course? It's an exam of memory. And if you don't have the greatest memory, that's where you'll have a little bit harder time passing that exam, but it can be done. In our online course, we actually just launched this online course last October to really kind of revolutionize our online course offering. Before we had our new online course, we had a very status quo online course, just a typical online course, nothing special, nothing fancy about it. It was basically like an online version of the textbook almost, which I wasn't proud of that course, and which is why we worked so hard to seek out a new way to present this information to our students, and that's where we came up with this new online course that really makes it so many things that went into it in designing and developing this course to make it easier for you to learn this information. We've had a tremendous success rate with this course. I think right now we're running about like 98% of a success rate with our passing our end of course exam for our online course. So it's very effective at being able to teach you the information. Even if you've never done an online course before, even if you think online courses are not for you, again, we really kind of changed the game when it comes to online courses for obtaining your real estate license. A lot of interactive exercises in there. There's some short videos here and there to talk about some of the more complex topics. It's really designed where you could go in, whether it's on your phone, on your tablet, on your computer, however it is that you're pulling it up, that you could go in there and knock out a few units really quickly. You don't have to spend hours on end completing a single section before you could kind of take a break. You could go in there, spend 5-10 minutes, get a couple little bits of it knocked out, and then go on with the rest of your day and really kind of try to get that in there, just these little bits here and there where you have time, and overall get that completed. It's not timed, it's on demand, it's self-paced. You get in there whenever it is that you have time, whether that's 2 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Anytime you want to log in and go in there and work on the course, you can do that. It's estimated to take about 63 hours to get through the course, but again, it's not timed. The only part that is timed is the end of course exam that you have 3 hours to complete. The rest of that's completely at your own pace. Estimated to take about 63 hours, but if you read quickly, if you pick up things quickly, you could probably get through it a lot quicker than that. But definitely check out that sale we've got going on. It's at tampaschool.com. Again, tampaschool.com. You've seen that link down below here. That sale, it's our Black Friday sale. It's our biggest sale of the year. Definitely check that out. Take advantage of that if you're thinking about getting a real estate license. But that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you've enjoyed this week's episode of State of Real Estate, that you've got some information maybe to help you make a decision on whether or not to start a career in real estate, or maybe now that you've got your real estate license, you're a little bit better equipped to understand where it is that you've got to move forward to make some money in real estate. But that's all I've got for you guys this week. I will see you Wednesday for Ask the Instructor, as well as next Friday for State of Real Estate. I'm John Chrismo. Have a great rest of your weekend. Our biggest sale of the year is happening now at tampaschool.com. That's tampaschool.com. Are you thinking about a career in real estate? Hey, I'm John Chrismo with the Tampa School of Real Estate, and we've helped thousands of people just like you obtain their real estate license. If you're thinking about a career in real estate, give us a call. The phone number is 813-928-0106. Our advisors are standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way they can.
Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
I have done for my love.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate.